tell you how we're going to grow the membership. There's a lot of great ideas, but as I tell everyone, and in my newsletters, I make it clear, this is our chapter, not David Reese. I'm just the name in the front that you guys can use, beat up, and abuse. But other than that, it is your chapter. I listen to what you guys have to say. Make it happen. Make a difference. Let's look at what we can do to grow this organization. There's a lot of good people out here. I'm looking at the youth. So I'm going to challenge our educational director to work with our youth people so that they can get an understanding. We have youth right here in Kaiser University that can use the sales talent that we bring. We have youth at Florida Memorial University, which we can grab. So we're looking at those particular segments of our universities that we can use to make them even better. What also has happened is we've created a lot of entrepreneurs. And we're excited about that opportunity because entrepreneurship is what drives a business. So it's important that we also groom that. So the chapter has an entrepreneurial committee. And that committee is responsible for making sure entrepreneurs are being taken care of. So once in a quarter, we try to have an event here at Kaiser where we'll open it up to our partners, and you'll see all our community partners later on, and talk about how we can take full advantage of getting these businesses moving. Oh, while I have a moment, silence those phones, please. So with that, I want to make sure that we all have a good time and understand. We're all going to be here after to answer any questions or anything that you have. So with that, I'm going to now turn over the meeting to Mr. Sean Gaines, who's our VP of Business Development. Sean?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As David just alluded to, my name is Sean Gaines, and I am the VP of Business Development. I'm responsible for the Entrepreneurial Committee. I'm responsible for the Educational Committee, and my educational chair, she will talk a little bit about her role, and also sponsorship. One of the things that is important to understand about NSN is it's here to advance you, the membership and its community partners. This is an extended network of a lot of talented people. We have people who are here for whatever the reason may be. Our goal is to try to figure out what's important to you as our members, what's important to our business partners, our community partners, so that we can make the relationship long-standing, not just as a one-stop shop. So with that being said, the one thing I'll talk about right away immediately is the corporate sponsorship. And we actually have one of our platinum sponsor here, Stryker, and I'll have Raul Quintero, who will, they're here as our platinum sponsor. They're also here trying to recruit talent. So at the end of the function, please, for those of you who may be interested, Raul's here to talk to you about the opportunities he has available at Stryker and talk a little bit about what he's looking for so that those of you who may not quite be interested, you can extend to your network and share the opportunities they have and let people know that they're here to recruit. I myself am I'm a sponsor too at State Farm. State Farm. Right. I myself, as a corporate sponsor, I'm looking to recruit entrepreneurs, people that are looking at possibly running their own State Farm agencies. I'll be more than willing to talk to you about those opportunities as well. We're going to continue a sponsorship to look for companies that are interested in partnering with NSN. And we're going to outline the value of partnering with NSN. We're going to outline the importance of what it is that organization is looking for. So those of you who may have contacts that may be interested in sponsoring or being a corporate sponsor, please, let's have a conversation. We can talk about the expectations and, more importantly, possibly have a warm transfer, okay? The Entrepreneurial Committee, David alluded to, our chapter is a little unique. We do things, the diversity in South Florida, the business opportunities in South Florida. Our chapter is it is comprised of a significantly large number of entrepreneurs. And as David alluded to, we want to make sure that those partners get value as well. It's not a matter of just sales. It's not a matter of just improving your ability to sell. It's about furthering the businesses that you have for our entrepreneurial partners. And we're going to have educational opportunities that won't just be geared towards solely sales. It'll be geared toward the ability to network and make yourself overall a better business person. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead, first of all, I'm gonna ask one more question. Does anyone have any questions about anything in the purpose we have and that I just described? Do you kind of understand? I put it in layman's terms, but does anyone have questions? For those of you that are members or maybe new, any questions about what we're doing with business development here at NSN? It's always good to check for clarity. Any questions? All right, one more question I have for you. Do we have any of our students or any of our students here? Okay, one other thing I'll share, Stryker is also actively looking to hire interns for this summer. Deadline's getting close, but if you have someone that you know that's a junior in college looking for a summer intern, Stryker is also looking to hire interns as well. So please spread the word. Let your friends, family, and business partners know about that as well. Okay? With that being said, entrepreneurial, cares education, business development, sponsorship. Oh, one last thing. I've mentioned this and I'm going to continue to mention this every year. When it comes to our membership, we're going to be communicating, we're working on a communications chair, but we're going to be communicating with you to find out the things that are important. More importantly, your backgrounds, the things that you've done, the things that you'd like to do. We're going to be communicating with you to get that information so that we can share with our business partners such as Stryker, such as State Farm, and others. We're going to be getting that information simply because if you're here, you have a purpose, and your purpose is to grow and develop. In order for us to meet your needs, we need to know what it is that you do. So don't be surprised when you get a communication from us. We're going to be branching out into social media. We're going to be sending our emails. We're going to be sending communications. We'll be texting. We'll be phone calls. Whatever we need to do to meet your needs. However, it's going to be on you. Everybody does not communicate the same way, and we understand and respect that. Some people prefer text, email, phone calls. We're going to do all the above to try to reach you to get your value out of the organization. Okay? With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to our education chair, Carrie Clemens.
So as he said, I am Carrie Klimas, and I'm the education chair. And this is a new role for me. So some of you I've met in this room from other previous networking events, so good to see you. And glad to be part of this group. And for those who don't know me, the reason why David's chosen me to be up here to be the education committee is because of my own personal growth. So I do believe in personal development. Our company is called Self-Discovery Life Mastery. And so since 2001, I put my own personal growth first, and demanding more from myself. So I have disciplined my attention, being able to communicate more effectively, living the life of ease, and actually be able to well balance my life. And part of me in the old days, you might not believe this, but I used to play invisible. Standing in front of the room is not a place to be invisible. Some of us remember, like, don't call on me. You know, don't call me at all. So that used to be my way of hiding out. I couldn't stand up for myself. I was afraid of authority. So because of my own personal growth, I'm able to stand in front of a room and just be okay with things. And things are just naturally just the way they are, and to communicate with everybody as if you're just talking to one person. So our goal in the education committee is to actually have experiential complementary workshops. And for those of you who do not have anything planned for next Wednesday from 6 to 8, we will be here, right here in this Kaiser building to actually host a Sticking with Your Goals in 2020. You, like you said, we're almost finishing at the first of the second month already. How many of you are sticking with your goals since January 1st? It was officially, okay, good. How many of you still are working on completing those goals and still have some goals you'd like to see completed? Absolutely. Falling behind and holding yourself accountable to some of those goals? Well, good. Well, we want to just have a simple discussion to explore from environment to evaluation. And so my world is like environment. Are you actually sitting down peacefully looking and evaluating your goals? Or are you being distracted by writing down your goals? So looking at where you're sitting to contemplate your goals and what that looks like, and then are you actually going back to evaluate those goals on a daily, weekly basis? Or are you waiting months down the road? So seeing how much you can hold yourself accountable, not only to write down the goals that you want to exceed, but also where you're writing them and where you're actually holding yourself accountable to evaluate where you're at, where you're going, and where you prefer to keep moving forward and what feels best for you. So that's what we're going to explore in a little PowerPoint and have discussion, because I'm not one for talking at you, which Currently at this moment I am. But through our complimentary workshop, we will be able to have an exploration, have a discussion, and take great notes on what that looks like. I did happen to get to a couple people on my clipboard, some little, notebook, note lines here. And I want to be able to come around the room. I can't catch all of you, but come up to me. If you have a topic that you'd like us to discuss that's educational and purposeful that we can explore, discuss. So far I've got branding yourself or building your brand, personal development, professional networking, networking with a purpose, specific industry. So thank you guys for sharing those tips. If there's anything on top of mind that you would like for us, our goal is to probably have a educational committee, a workshop possibly every month, every other month. But we certainly want to focus on what your needs are, what you would like us to explore. So feel free to come to me afterwards. I'll be sure to take those notes and focus on what the next educational committee will be discussing here at Kaiser. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Okay. Well, thank you guys for your attention, and I look forward to staying connected with you and helping you with the goals in 2020.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So, as you can tell, team, we have some gaps that we need to have filled. Okay, so we have our education department, but in that same space, we want to make sure that we are covering. We have entrepreneurial. We need more help there. We also have sponsorship. So I need a sponsorship director. Now, let me keep you in mind, this chapter is responsible for all 3 counties: Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. So I need a director or somebody in a leadership role in each one of those counties. And it's not easy, but guess what? Nothing worth working for is. You gotta work, and guess what? It's gonna help develop you. It's part of your personal development. It looks good on your resume to say that you've been a president or been a vice president of any organization. Leadership is critical, and that's why my community partners are so strategic and so important, because once I finish my presidency, I can run over to the Black MBAs, I can run over to NAR or any of the other organizations and get involved at a leadership level because my skills are transferable. So look at that as you're developing to be an entrepreneur, because not everybody can be an entrepreneur. I know, I tried. I can't do it. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking at and what we're doing. We talked about our sponsors. In the back, one of the things that you might have saw when you came in was the history of our national conference. So the national conference is one of our big draws. We get recruiters from all over the country to come. This year it's going to go to Houston. Last year it was in Atlanta. We had a great time. We had about over 100 and something companies that were there to recruit. We're looking for college. We're looking for college, as well as those that are currently working that may want to make a change. But the thing that I didn't like about it is there's nobody down here in South Florida. We have a diverse network. I'm glad that Stryker saw the vision and said, hey, look, I want to come into South Florida, because guess what? They're going to have to pick of the litter, because nobody else is down here looking to pick. They want us to come up to them. No, we moved down here for a reason. We live down here for a reason. We like what? The weather. We like the partying. We love the environment. It's not cold, baby. It is not cold. So that's the good news. So why would you want to leave? And that's why I think it's creating a lot of entrepreneurs, because people don't want to do that. So I want to make sure that we have that space to talk about that before I let you know about all our partners. I now have to turn it over to, I gotta look at my list. So even the president sometimes forgets. Oh, membership. And my membership VP is not here this evening, but their team is here. And so the team is in the house, and I asked Vanessa to come on up and tell us what we're going to do to get some more people in here. And then I'll tell you at the end how much it's going to cost.
Hi everyone, again, my name is Vanessa Cassis. I'm an investor and real estate agent. I've actually been part of NSN for the past 7 years. I was part of the first student inaugural class, and then I became part of the professional conference, and then so forth. So I've also been part of the Atlanta chapter, the Chicago chapter, and now South Florida. So thank you. So I love NSN. So now I am part of the membership committee, and we decided that as a team, that we want to work as a unit, and for you to understand that you're just not another member. We are a family. We are an organization. We're here to lift each other up and to build each other. And a way to do that is to get on a personal level. So with that being said, there will be a process to be a member. And no, it's not like pledging, if we all know that. It's more so when you sign up, you pay your dues, we'll actually have an orientation available so you understand what's available with the organization. You'll get a calendar of some updates that are going to happen. You'll get a welcome package. So it's a true acclimation to the organization and not you just paying your dues and again, another ticket. So that was just briefly what it is. We have a lot of great things coming abroad. Please join if you want to be part of us. We are a small team, about 5 now. Well, yeah, like 3 to 5, let's say that. Let's say 3. So if you join, all you need is just an hour out of the week, and honestly, it really is an hour. I run multiple businesses. My phone rings off the hook all day long. David and I, we have to talk sometimes at midnight just because my schedule is that busy. But when he says an hour, and when the committee says an hour, it truly is an hour. So if I do 10 minutes one day, 25 minutes the other day, I actually get everything I need to do accomplish, just being part of it. So if you have just a tad bit of time, you want to give back to the community, give back to the organization, please join the membership committee. Thank you.
So of course you're asking that obvious question, but not yet. I have one other thing I do before I can answer that obvious question. So we talk about events, and events is critical. It's the lifeblood of most organizations. Most organizations live and die by the events that they do. This for us is an event. This is the inaugural event. So I've been told by nationals that I cannot do another event until I do my kickoff event. So this is the kickoff event. Once this event happens, all bets are off. So all the events are going to be coming down the pipe. You can expect to get a lot of information, especially if you're looking to participate. Because like I said, we have partnerships with this charming young lady and her business, GPS, and self-discovery. They do a lot of free workshops. Here's the key thing that I find very important: networking. If you are not networking, you are not working. So it's important to understand the value of network, and we'll help you. We're not here to beat you up. We're here to teach you. We want you to be the best that you can be. So let's take full advantage of that. So our event schedule will be coming out shortly. I do not have an events VP. Now I am recruiting one, but she is not ready yet. So I got to make sure she's ready, but she's going to hit the ground running. She has events set up for us in Miami. She has some events set up in Palm Beach. I'm trying to recruit a former Palm Beach young lady to come back and help us up in Palm Beach. And where I really feel that I have the weakest link, believe it or not, is in Miami. Miami is very difficult because, unlike we said earlier, we are cultural. So people in Palm Beach are not coming down to Miami. And people in Miami are not coming up to Palm Beach. So the main goal is Broward. So a lot of stuff will be happening in Broward unless we get leadership team to say, hey, David, we want to come down to Miami. Fine, I have budget. Let's do it. Let's get more people. Stryker loves to get people from Miami. They want to get those talents and those spots filled. We have business people that want to get talent filled. So it's important that we look at that as well. So with that being said, I lost my, oh, there it is, I'm sorry, thank you. Okay, and so I just covered some of the events that are going on. And then our communications director is out there doing her work and taking your money and making sure that you pay before you come in here. But one of the things we're doing in communications, as you may or may not know, we have a newsletter. And in the newsletter, I feature every one of our members to tell us, take a little picture of them, and then do a little bio. I think that's good to help build your brand. We talk about brand building, that's one of the key strategies. And that goes out to all my presidents and our partnerships so that they can share with their people. So this also goes to about 18 chapters nationwide. And we are one of the premier newsletters. So we set the band as far as the role models to make us even better. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking at doing to make it more beneficial to you. If you are not a member today, why not? And if you are a member, why not take full advantage to make sure that we're giving you the value that you deserve? And on the communications front, we're going to be also looking at developing stronger communication side. We're now getting our social media act together. So we're going to be on the Facebooks, we're going to be on the LinkedIns, we're going to be on the Snapchats, all your social media opportunities that we can take advantage of. So we can use that from that end. I even partner with our only other chapter in the state of Florida. Shalise Jackson, please stand. This is my counterpart in Orlando. And they had a fabulous workshop that they did for their inauguration kickoff. and putting their offices together, and she did a fabulous job, and I was honored to be there. And that's the thing that we want to try to do differently. Collaboration is critical. She partners with her black MBAs up there in Orlando and the other chapters. So it's important that we look at what we're trying to do. And I noticed I said the black MBAs a lot, but there's other groups that I partner with. BBG, the Brazilian Business Group. Now guess what? I looked at the studies. Pompano and Deerfield are heavily Brazilian. So guess what? I speak 2 languages. Well, one not fluently. But anyway, you need to be diverse. Okay, well, and back in the day, jive was my language, so you can't speak jive. Okay, jive don't cut it. All right. So strategically, we want to make sure that you know what you're doing and having fun with that. So I want to kind of move forward and keep everything going. I'm looking at my events, and it looks like I have everything covered. Did I miss anything, team? Go ahead.
Just the members, the leadership roles, just recruiting.
Okay.
Leadership roles.
We need more. You heard that my VP has made it clear. We need more leadership roles. So if not you, who do you know? Okay? Let's take advantage of all that talent that you got in your mindset. And it doesn't have to be just in this area. I have a member, believe it or not, in Atlanta. She does a lot of my phone calls. She will call you up. You might have gotten a phone call if you're a member from my contact in Atlanta. So these are the kinds of things that we're doing differently. We're thinking outside of the box. And so as I introduce my partners and what they're doing, I think you'll find that we have a very diverse group of partners. And so with that being said, I want to take a few moments, and I don't see my attorney. I've been trying to stall for my attorney to show up so that we can do that. Do I have an acting attorney? Anybody here is a lawyer? Nobody's a lawyer. Okay, nobody wants to admit that they're a lawyer. Okay, okay, I got you. So I'm gonna move on until hopefully my lawyer shows up. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna just take a pause for a moment and say, we're going to introduce our community partners. And so I'm gonna start out with our community partners. I don't see one of them here, the first one. So guess who's next? I wanna thank AWBA for coming. Kathy Gallagher, over here. Come on up, Kathy. And I have something for you. Oh, come on, get your little plaque. This is our community partner, and she works with the women's groups. So guess what, you females? Okay, here's your opportunity to partner and see what we can do. Oh, I'm sorry, we gotta go over here? Okay, I'll cover my camera. Thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, so let your members know. Okay, and next on the list, I have Elise from the Black MBAs. There we go. Come on down, Elise. And bring your team with you. Come on now. Who else is part of the Black MBAs? Come on, get your pictures. Get your photo out. Put it in your newsletter. Make us look good. Come on. Thank you for all you do, man. It's a pleasure partnering with you, man. It's always a pleasure. Oh, he's got his team with him. No, he's got his team, man. He travels with a posse. Okay. I'll make it look good because I'll just get in. It is my check. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, I got more pictures. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Next, I told you I partnered with the Brazilians. And so from BBC, okay, we have their VP, and I can't pronounce her name.
Elizabeth.
Thank you. Well, no, this is the last name I'm going to do. So, Elizabeth, thank you for partnering with us. Please make sure Andrew gets a copy. Oh, another one? No, my pleasure. So I talked about using our members to help us go forward. So our DJ, his wife is a member of the chapter, so we use our DJ, Mr. Thomas Spann. Yeah. I also have our food catered by the Jerk Machine, and yay, hello.
Yeah.
And that's Catherine Malcolm. Catherine Malcolm is one of our partners, has been a partner for years, and working with us here. Look at it, okay. No networking now, this is my time. Okay, and then, I can't say last one, I got a couple others. So next, this gentleman has been on my case since I met him. He's a good man, has a great organization. I call it the upscale organization because his talent is off the chart. And so, Mr. Jerome Hutchinson, come on down. The iCarver industry, and that's what I call it. It's an industry because it's very unique in its concept and what they do, how they network. They network with hospitality. They network with healthcare. They're doing it all. And I look to model my organization after this man because he's got it going on. All right? There you go. There you go.
No microphone, Dave.
Can't stop talking.
Yeah.
When they will be like this.
Yeah, right. Thank you, sir.
Hold on, one more.
I'm sorry. You don't have 3 cameras? Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I told you I'm diverse. So I have one other individual that I take in pride in because si habla español. So for those who don't speak Spanish, you need to. And if you don't, you want to, because it is a beautiful language. So I'm calling my amigo, for those who don't know, my friend, Mr. Juan Pagan, for the Puerto Rican Chamber of Commerce. Again, these organizations have events that we partner with them on that we can take advantage of. So if you're in the Palm Beach area, please make sure you're partnering with Mr. Juan Pagan and his organization. Santos Orodio is his man. And one moment. I hope everybody's having a lot of fun at my expense.
Really quickly, you know, one of the
¿Sí habla
things.
español? No.
En español no, en español no. Pero I don't think I need it. One of the things we look at is in our organization is how we're going to partner with the community. It's not about the Chamber of Commerce. It's about the community and how we partner with the community. For that, one of our members, you were talking about looking for interns. Well, Palm Beach State College is one of our members. You know, and that's something we've been negotiating with them, trying to happen, you know, so they can make it happen. We don't have a big corporation like a Stryker down there, up in Palm Beach, but it's one of the things. The other thing is, we look at the community, the growth of the Hispanic community. When you look at the census, and I'm just gonna take Palm Beach as an example, 2010 census, the Hispanic community in Palm Beach was barely 10% of the people. You know, now for the 2020 census, the projections are that they're gonna be between 30 to 40%. That's a huge increase. So politicians are looking at it too, because they want to be elected again. So there's going to be roles in that. So again, jobs, business is going to be created. It's about how we make it happen together. You know, it's not about being Hispanic, not Hispanic. We've been holding for the last 10 years the largest Hispanic festival in Palm Beach County called Fiesta de Pueblo, Town Fest. You know, this year, January 11th, we have over 7,000 people who attended the free event. And we gave, no, we didn't know. The Three Kings gave presents to over 1,000 kids. Epiphany, it's a tradition. You know, again, it's about how do we make it in the community? Because if the community trusts us, they trust you, because you are part of that. Thank you for having me here tonight. It's a pleasure.
So here's my, can we give you a flag?
No. Oh, I didn't. What's getting green?
Okay, hold on. I thought we had chairs. I thought we had. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, I saw it. Okay, I knew it. Oh, no,
He's innocent.
I'm too busy sometimes. Okay, they want you to take a picture. Make it look good. I tell you, I have a dynamic team because when I mess up, they make me look good. So, one of the partners that I have, as I told you earlier, NSN partners very closely with the hospital industry. The medical team is very important and very critical. And there's one of the organizations that I really, really like to join and make sure that we're taken care of. Their former president, Mr. Grant McCall, was a good friend of mine as well as a good partner. Because when I looked at the breakdown of strategic partners, then they recruit what we do. They need us and we need them. So it's a natural transition. So I'm gonna call up their new president, Toya, come on down. I know she's out there all quiet. And come get your community partner award. Come on down. She's the new chapter president, and she's gonna be my new ally. And she's already told me she's recruiting me for next year. Because she knows my job is at stake. Thank you. Thank you for coming. So I do have 2 more to give out, but the people are not here. So thank you, Sean. So I'm just going to do an honorable mention. We partner with the National Association of African Americans in HR. And the reason why we do that is HR is important to know what's going on in the job market. So like, for example, when I was looking for a job, I did not know about taking that skills test that you had to do, and they said, oh, just answer the questions, it won't be held against you, and boy, did I fall for the lie. Boy, did they hold that against me. I thought I had it made. I told the truth, and I'm a sales guy, and I said, oh yeah, this is gonna make it easy. I answered, and they said, David, you didn't qualify. I had already had the job. I passed the test because I met with the VP of the region. So I already did the right stuff. I went to the head guy, got approved, but then I couldn't get in because I didn't pass the test. I said, never again, not on my watch. So I said, let me get with HR. So I saw the need to bring in HR people to teach us what it is that's the nuances that are going on in the HR, or shall we say, in the recruiting world. So by working with Strike and others, they have their criteria. We don't necessarily know what that is. But now with these people on our team, they're going to give us some data and some information that we can use to make us better. So even though they're not here, the National Association of African American HR, Dianette, who's their current chapter president, is not here, but I wanted her to get her recognition and her due diligence because of the relationships that we have, and we understand the value of our network. So with questions, anything that you have on your mind that we have not covered, that you think we can add value. Oh, I'm sorry, I got my partners from the YPN, my Young Professional Network. Come up here, Brenda. So, little history here. Remember I told you I work with the youth. This is one of my mentees. She started out, she was shy, quiet, and now she works with the government. Everybody that knows Brenda remembers Brenda Wen. And Brenda has started a lot of things and has done a great work. And I'm hoping that she'll be running for president of YPN. And I know I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there so that she can help us, because again, she understands the relationship of having, shall we say, senior people working with them, because we have history. We know a lot that goes on. And they want to take advantage of our youth. And they want to make sure that... Microphone. Okay, one more time. And her president, Toby, could not make it tonight, so I want to make sure that we at least acknowledge our youth. So again, we're starting to get our next set of talent from YPN and the organizations of that nature. Yes, of course you can.
So I definitely want to give all thanks to you. I actually met David 2015 at an Urban League Red Gala event, and he's stuck with me ever since. I also want to thank him and NSN for supporting our YP retreat. So there are 5 other young professional chapters within Florida, and David went ahead and put some money into our retreat. He also offered himself as a speaker, and then he also got the President James Oscar from the Orlando chapter to come down and actually table at our event, and that was great because we had the Orlando YP chapter president there, and they were able to connect. So I definitely just want to give you all thanks for all that you've done for YPN thus far, your support, any advice that you offer to us, we definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for the recognition.
Thank you for making me cry. Okay, I'm soft, okay? So, with that being said, I think I've covered every base, everything that we're doing. Please continue to eat up the food that can you have something?
Do you mind if I kind of chat about, you know what I'm going to talk about, right?
Oh, you want to do that? Come on, man, I'll give you the floor.
Would you do the honors? And yes, this is on live, so we're doing social media.
Social media guy.
Well, no, I'm not going to talk. Do I need this? Can I get rid of this? I don't need this. It's like a stranger knows anyway. So separate, and this is my first event, and until I heard you on the phone with David tonight, and this is Karen with AT&T, I didn't know this event was happening. So I'm not prepared for anything. My day job, and I need some sympathy first, because I work with David. I have to spend 8-10 hours a day with him. My evening job, I work with an organization, and once I tell you the background, it personifies exactly where you guys are going. So my evening job is with a group called Tech Lauderdale. Don't get confused with the tech piece. We're a business development organization, and I'm sorry, your name was?
Sean Gaines.
Sean. Personified exactly what you said. We were put in place about a year ago. Our previous name was the South Florida Technology Alliance, SFTA. But we saw a gap here in South Florida specifically. Does anybody know where the #1 place in this country is for startups? Anybody know in the US where the startup capital is? You're sitting in it. You're sitting in the startup capital of the US. But do you know where we rank when it comes to entrepreneurship? Anybody want to take a shot? I'm not giving anything away, but anybody want to take a shot?
10.
We should get so lucky. We're ranked 36th when it comes to all the resources working together and working, having a plan, aligned together. We don't do a real good job. I'm on camera and I don't care. We get all these startups, but we don't do a real good job of putting all our resources together. We do have some incubators. I know FAU Tech Runway, and where's my lady from BBG? That's where they're based. But we really have to do a better job. Again, I'm on the tech space of this, but don't get hung up on the tech, but every new company needs tech. I know it's a sales conference, I'm not selling. But what you all are doing is tremendous to help get all these entrepreneurs started. They need a whole bunch of the folks from Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, Broward. So I'm part of the Tech Lauderdale piece. We've got events. We've got things coming up. You can go to the website and see it, but what's really important, and the gentleman from Stryker, where are you? So you're doing exactly what needs to be done. What we're also doing from a Tech Lauderdale perspective is we have an intern program. And by the way, you pull me off whenever you want me to, because I won't shut up otherwise. So we have a website that's called getmyinterns.org. People, your students, middle schoolers, whatever, can register to help start finding this, because what we're finding out, if you haven't figured it out, is we're not doing a real good job of keeping companies here in South Florida. They are not staying very well. Our job, and by the way, Tech Lauderdale also consists of the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance. Go ahead, come on. Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, Broward Workshop, Broward College, and Nova Southeast. We were given funding a year ago to help alleviate some of these problems. So I'll wrap real fast. Again, Get My Interns. We're trying to help kids stay here, find the internships. I was speaking 3 weeks ago, City of Hallandale, with the Broward schools, trying to get our tech schools more involved, because kids are taking these 4-year degrees, don't graduate, and guess what? They owe $250,000 at the end of it. So we got to figure out better ways to help give these kids more life experience and what have you, because I have no notes. We've got events, we'll talk about that. We'd love to have some of you folks on our board of directors. One of our, my last comment, one of our things that we're focused on is diversity within Tech Lauderdale. Also, Gen Z and the millennials have to be involved there. 60% of our workforce today, if you didn't know that, in 5 years it'll be about 75%. I'm getting the hook. So thanks for the time, but you're all doing the right thing. We love the ability to partner, Dave, but we'll have to figure some of that out. We've got golf events, we've got other events coming up with some really, really, really big tech companies. I didn't say that loud, but magically. So, get involved. I want to figure out a way we can all work together. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so with that being said, I have nothing else to add, get just a chance to network. But before I do, I want to get all our board members in, because I got to do the inauguration. I have none of my attorneys here. Any of my attorneys come in yet? No, so I guess I'm going to have to do the acting on my own. And so,
There you go.
Okay.
Guide me.
So come on up. Okay, all my board members, leadership team members. No, we don't have an official board yet. We're in the process of doing that as well. Okay. I don't know. Where do you want us, LZ? LZ is our photographer, by the way. He's the chapter photographer. He's been around since the chapter. Where you want me at? Oh, I don't know.
Okay, are we getting Annette in?
Yeah, Annette. Where's Annette? Annette. She's outside. Thank you. So as you can tell, we have some gaps to be filled. I would love to put some of you nice people in those gaps. Oh, that's Miss Lewis. Hey, you remember? I know her already. So come on, that's it.
While we're waiting for it.
Okay, go ahead.
Raul, once again, please raise your hand. Raul Quintero from Stryker is the he's the hiring manager. So this is the gentleman that you absolutely need to network with for opportunities, whether it's internship or immediate employment in sales with Stryker. Not a recruiter, the hiring manager. So for those of you who are interested, please raise your hand one more time.
No, Raul,
Yes.
come on up, come on up. You want to tell, give you a chance to talk. You're my chapter sponsor. I got to give you some credit, okay? I have a bigger plan for you, so I didn't want you to do that yet, but I'll let you talk and introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, guys. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be here tonight. We just became part of this membership literally about 3 months ago. And it was, first of all, I thought we were kind of being recruited to do something that we had no idea what it was. And as much as we're now involved in it, I realize the importance and the relevance that we have as a team and as a group. And so I work for a company that is worldwide. My company is my company. It's my company because I work for it and I believe in exactly what we do. But it's a $14.5 billion company. We have representation here in the South Florida area. I happen to be blessed with the opportunity of managing an entire organization that transfers from Sebastian all the way down to the Keys. We're always looking for the best talent we can possibly bring to the organization, and I look for two things. One is talent; it's got to be the best talent, and second is the culture that we can build around the diversity and the best people we can find for the jobs that we have available. We happen to have something that most people don't get to do, and that is we make a difference in people's lives every day. So every time we walk into a hospital setting, and God forbid it would be my mom or my dad, or your mom or your dad that may need a knee replacement or a hip replacement, I can tell you without any doubt in my mind that the company that I represent, the people that work with us, alongside with the healthcare professionals that happen to utilize the instruments we put in their hands, are doing the very best they can to make a difference in people's lives. That's what makes me wake up every morning. That's what makes me come out here and meet with all of you, because inside of each one of you, there's that opportunity to be able to come and work with us and have the ability to make a difference in people's lives. If we do that right, if we do it well, if we do it every day, we will be successful in having the very best health care that we could possibly provide, at least in South Florida, which is what we're involved with. Thank you for your time. It's been an enjoyable time to be able to meet all of you. I look forward to the next time when we get together, and in the meantime, I'm around. If you guys want to talk to me, that'll be fantastic. If not, I know that through the website you guys can get a hold of who I am and maybe get together with us for either coffee or just to explore any other opportunities that we may have. Thank you.
So team, I apologize. I thought I had the write-up, and I did. I sent it out to my team to let them know this is what we're going to use. Do you have it? You have it? Okay, can you get it for us? Thank you. And so I can get my Orlando chapter president to swear us in.
And did you lose the net?
Hmm?
You lost the net?
No, Annette's getting the write-up. Because I wrote it up. Thank you for your patience. Okay, you got it? Oh, good. Give it to Shalice. Shalice will read it. You got your glasses? Okay, board members, leadership team members, where do you want us at? Right here? Okay. Annette is coming. And again, I want to thank every one of you for coming out. Give yourselves a hand, please.
Yeah.
I like being behind.
I know you do. That's what I'm bringing from. Okay, so LZ?
Yeah. Just sideways just a little bit.
Are we taking a picture or are we doing it?
Take a picture. Oh, no. To me.
You tell me.
Go for it.
Picture.
Go for it.
Elise is gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. Read that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
There you go.
Okay, I did not practice any of this.
Okay. But it's all repeat now.
Okay. The leadership oath. I will ask you a series of questions, and after each question, you will say, I do. Will the 2020 leadership team of the National Sales Network please raise your right hand, and repeat the following? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will uphold the goals, mission, and objectives of the National Sales Network of South Florida?
I do.
Do you pledge to perform your duties to your abilities?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Do you pledge to work in concentrated effort with other leadership members to implement and achieve goals and objectives of the chapter?
I do.
Do you pledge to support the leadership team and their endeavors?
I do.
Do you pledge to support the bylaws of the chapter and work faithfully to make sure the success of the South Florida chapter is true and honest?
I do.
By the authority invested in me as an official president of National Sales Network Orlando chapter, I do hereby proclaim you officially installed as leadership team members of the National Sales Network of South Florida.
Thank you, Julie.
Let's get a picture.
Okay.
Didn't you already get the mug shots?
Same position we're in. You good to go?
We're gonna work the best we can.
All right.
Height, weight, and big picture.
All right. Okay, one more. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Let's do two of those. One. Here we go. One for the road. Thank y'all very much.
Okay, hold on. Oh, my partners, my community partners, come on up real quick. I want to get a group shot. Okay, come on. All you guys that got your awards, come on. Okay, Easy, Kathy. Did I call you all out? Where is Brenda? She left already. I went to get something to eat.
That's right.
I know, man. You think you're just gonna smile and wave? Okay. You got me now? Make sure you get my bass off.
We got everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Careful now.
All right. It's on there. Brenda. Uh-oh. Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randall. I know your heart is here.
We gotta squeeze in like we like each other, guys.
Okay, we need to
Yeah,
turn
you
sideways.
get close, close.
Turn sideways.
Yeah,
Turn sideways, like what?
Turn
Oh, yeah,
sideways.
you good, you good.
You good? What do you want, hon? What do you need?
We good?
Are you good?
Can you get us?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Glenn, you got this?
Yeah, everybody.
We're live, baby.
All right.
You're getting all kinds of comments. Get him off the stage.
Everybody look this way.
Okay.
Close your mouth, unless you're smiling. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Stay there no more. Okay, one more. Give you guys a little bit more light. Make sure the colors are nice. Okay, one more for the, oh, yes. Can I get another one? Now, one for the road. That's the real camera. Boom, one more. Boom. Oh, yeah. Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that being said, go eat the food, please. Okay? And thank you for coming. Network.